guys, how you doing? Metamorpheus here. I was scrolling through my analytics and saw that there actually was a couple people that were listening when I read a damn poem. Rhymes of a Rolling Stone, Robert W. Service. I'm going to read another one of his poems today. I figured first, man, because I'm kind of new to this book, or this book's kind of new to me. I got it when I lived up north from a friend of mine. Figured I'd look up a little bit about Robert Service and read that out of Wikipedia to you guys. I didn't write this; it's coming right off my phone, so I'm just going to read it to you. Robert William Service was born January 16th, 1874, died September 11th, 1958. Was a Scottish-Canadian poet and writer, often called the Poet of the Yukon, and the Canadian Kipling. Born in Lancashire, of Scottish descent, he was a bank clerk by trade. Spent long periods traveling in the West, in the United States and Canada, often in poverty. Lord, I know how that goes. When his bank sent him to the Yukon, he was inspired by tales of the Klondike Gold Rush and wrote two poems, The Shooting of Dan McGrew and The Cremation of Sam McGee. Both of those seem to be a little bit on the dark side, huh? Which showed remarkable authenticity from an author with no experience of the gold rush or mining and enjoyed immediate popularity. Encouraged by this, he quickly wrote more poems on the same theme, which were published as Songs of a Sourdough, which was retitled The Spell of the Yukon and Other Verses in the United States. He achieved a massive sale with this, and his next collection, Ballads of a Chichaco, proved equally successful. Robert Service was able to afford to travel widely now and live a leisurely life, basing himself in Paris and the French Riviera. It goes on to say, partly because of their popularity and the speed with which he wrote them, his works were dismissed as doggerel by the critics, who tended to say the same of Rudyard Kipling, with whom Service was often compared. This did not worry Service, who was happy to classify his work as verse and not poetry. Alright, that's all of the Wikipedia we're going to do. You know, it has other subsections and stuff, and I might get into that on my next reading, but right now I'm going to stop there and we'll get into the Wikipedia on Robert Service's life here when I do my next recording. But right now we're going to continue on a little bit, like I told you, with this book, Rhymes of a Rolling Stone, which was published a very long time ago. I'm going to get to that page. 1912 by Parson Hopkins. I've already read you the prelude, which I really didn't think anybody was going to listen to, but evidently somebody did. 4 or 5 people did. And hope you like my voice, man. If not, it's the only one I got. We are going to move into the next poem in this book that's well over 100 years old. It is called The Rolling Stone. And I'm going to look at the book and not the camera because I haven't mastered both of those yet. There's sunshine in the heart of me. My blood sings in the breeze. The mountains are a part of me. I'm fellow to the trees. My golden youth I'm squandering. Sun libertine am I. A wandering until the day I die. I was once, I declare, a Stone Age man, and I roomed in the cool of a cave. I have known, I will swear, in a new life span, the fret and the sweat of a slave. For far over all that folks hold worth, their lives and their leaps in me, a love of the lowly things of earth, and a passion to be free. To pitch my tent with no prosy plan, to range and to change at will, to mock at the mastership of man, to seek adventure's thrill. Carefree to be, as a bird that sings, to go my own sweet way, to reck not at all what may befall, but to live and to love each day, to make my body a temple pure, wherein I dwell serene, to care for the things that shall endure, the simple, sweet, and clean, to oust out envy and hate and rage, to breathe with no alarm, for nature shall be my anchorage, and none shall do me harm, to shun all lures that debauch the soul, the orgied rites of the rich, to eat my crust as a rover must, with the roughneck down in the ditch. We trudge by his side, whate'er betide, to share his fire at night, to call him friend to the long trail end, and to read his heart aright, to scorn all strife, and to view all life with the curious eyes of a child, from the plangent sea to the prairie, from the slum to the heart of the wild, from the red-rimmed star to the speck of sand, from the vast to the greatly small, for I know that the whole for good is planned, and I want to see it all. To see it all, the wide world way, from the fig leaf belt to the pole, with never a one to say me nay, and none to cramp my soul. In belly pinch I will pay the price, but God let me be free, for once I know in the long ago they made a slave of me. In a flannel shirt from earth's clean dirt, here, pal, is my calloused hand. Oh, I love each day as a rover may, nor seek to understand. To enjoy is good enough for me, the gypsy of God am I. Then here's a hail to each flaring dawn, and here's a cheer to the night that's gone, and I may go a-roaming on until the day I die. Then every star shall sing to me its song of liberty, and every morn shall bring to me its mandate to be free. In every throbbing vein of me I'll feel the vast earth call, O body, heart, and brain of me, praise him who made it all. It's a poem called A Rolling Stone by Robert W. Service. Evidently Canada's answer to Rudyard Kipling. From a book I got from a dear friend. A little tumultuous time in my life. Books are a wonderful thing. That's why I'm reading this, so we can preserve some of this. Everything's going digital. You know, some of the children growing up these days, they don't have a whole lot of these in school anymore. And the ones they do have, they've been altered. They've changed them, you know. So hopefully this little attempt, I can help preserve some of that. I'm probably not the best at reading prose, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right? And maybe somebody will watch this, and maybe this droning old man's voice will put their child to sleep, or maybe it can offer some comforting words to somebody out there. Maybe somebody's laying in a hospital bed and just needs to hear a familiar voice, you know. Got dear friends. I've got a cousin that's in a hospital bed right now, and pray for him, think of him every day. I think he's going to pull through it all right. We listens to the doctors, the nurses, and the staff, and stays put for a little while. I think he'll be fine. I've been in that hospital bed before, man. I'll tell you what, you guys want to do a service for your medical community? You know, go to your local doctor's office or hospital and see if they got, you know, if they could use a few books, good books, man, not crap, not them freaking romance novels or whatever. Some good books. Paper, pens, pencils, crayons. It was so hard. You know, back in 21, I had to stay 18 days in the hospital. The hardest thing to get in there is a piece of paper and a pen, just to get some thoughts out and, you know, maintain your sanity. It's a resource they don't even think about. They're looking at me like I was nuts. I was in there with the COVID and trying to figure out how to breathe again. And I'm asking for a piece of paper so I can draw plans for what I needed to do on my off-grid property next. And they're telling me, yeah, you need to move into town. I'm like, no, man, I'm going back home to my trailer. You know, my wife, my dogs, the rest of my animals, that's what I'm doing. It's harder than hell to find a piece of paper and a pen to get some of those thoughts out. So, see what you can do along those lines in your local community. Go find out what your hospital needs, what your fire department can use, your EMTs, your local churches. You know, if anything, see if you could go to a library or something and read a book to a group of kids that, you know, they'll have a good time. Keeps them out of trouble. You got to do something nice. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's January 7th. Hope your new year was well. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this one off now. I got a couple things I want to get done today. So I hope you enjoyed my butchering of another one of these poems here in this book by Robert Service. You guys have a great day. From Metamorphosis.